Hello, my name is Cole Klein, and this is my core advocacy exhibit on the topic of cyberbullying. A little bit about me. Like I said, my name is Cole. I'm a nursing student in the Accelerated Bachelor's of Science in Nursing program at Nebraska Methodist College. I was first introduced to the topic of cyberbullying throughout childhood experiences. Fast forwarding to my college career, I was faced with the challenge of ultimately becoming a change agent in my community, and I knew that with my life experience of cyberbullying, that this would be a topic that I'd be very good with being tasked to become a change agent in my community. So overall, I built an advocacy implementation plan that strives to promote a positive and safer social media environment for all generations to come. Discussing more about my values and identity here, my main two cornerstones of nursing practice for me have been compassion and patient advocacy. This is just because I believe every patient deserves to be treated with dignity and compassion, regardless of their background, beliefs, or circumstances. Really, just the focus of all people deserve to be given a fair chance at life. So the values that I have acquired both through my nursing education and my work experience have motivated me to listen carefully, show empathy, and advocate for not only my patient's physical status, but also their emotional and psychological well-being. So these artifacts below are testaments of my personal life that have shaped my desire for becoming a nurse. And it also talks about how different career events, excuse me, have changed me as a healthcare change agent. So this one on the left is just a story of self, talking about my upbringing throughout my work career. This one in the middle also provides insight about how various career events have molded my professional identity. And this one on the right just talks about how I believe that healthcare is a human right for everyone. So, divulging into my social issue research here, um, I've learned throughout my educational career that cyberbullying is a significant public health and social issue that extends far beyond hurtful comments online. It not only has long-lasting emotional, psychological impacts, but it can also include self-harm, and it also contributes to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. This topic is very important to me just because I believe everyone deserves to feel safe, respected, and supported both online and offline, especially with how developed we have become as a society and how we've really merged into becoming more of an online society than in person. So these three excerpts just talk about the history and evolution and impacts of cyberbullying, how cyberbullying impacts the youth population. And then this one on the right here is just an infographic explaining what I had just talked about, but it also provides information on what key stakeholders like parents and school faculty can do to combat this issue. Looking at the systems and policy analysis, excuse me. Overall, these courses have just helped me see a bigger picture of how individual health issues are derived from greater systems and policies like the social determinants of health, for example. And because of this, I am more equipped to provide more holistic and accurate care, excuse me, for my patients. So these two excerpts just talk about how both federal and state law enforcement is working to combat the issue of cyberbullying. As well as how some previous cases of cyberbullying have shaped federal law to combat cyberbullying in the community. Discussing more about advocacy here, throughout my nursing school journey and education courses, my advocacy for addressing cyberbullying has grown significantly just because of how much my education on the topic has grown. This has happened not only through learning about mental health, child and adolescent development, and community health nursing, but also just doing more research about the topic of cyberbullying itself. I feel a lot more confident now than I did in the beginning of my nursing school career, just because my education went from just my personal experience to having everyone else's experiences and all this research on previous cases as well. So these excerpts below just talk about how I analyzed both public health nursing and the needs of the community to learn more about cyberbullying, um, what prevention efforts are happening now to prevent cyberbullying, and then there's just a presentation about how various cases have been formulated into law and how I believe that AI can be used to help combat cyberbullying in the future. Finally, just sharing my growth and impact here. Overall, with these various core classes, I believe my perspective of care has evolved from focusing primarily on the care of individual patients to addressing the entire community as a whole. This project on cyberbullying has played a significant role in expanding my understanding of community health and the nurse's responsibility as an advocate, just because I know we have a major voice when it comes to advocating for social and health change. Overall, my growth throughout nursing school has transformed as my understanding of nursing for caring for one patient at a time um, to ultimately just making a bigger impact on the health of my community, preparing me to serve as a long-term advocate and leader for positive changes in healthcare. Thank you very much.